Well, hello, everybody, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to welcome you to the Southworth Associates booth, and really glad that you joined us for the conference today. I wanted to take just a minute and explain a little bit about what we do at Southworth Associates. That's one thing that I get often whenever I'm at conferences and events, is people say, "So what do you guys do at Southworth?" And I like to think of us as the kind of the before and after treatment. We do the intervention piece on the front end, and get the person or your loved one out to where they need to go, and then we follow it up with monitoring on the back end after they finish the treatment. And so, what I wanted to do today is I have our president and owner Ben Seymour here with me, and we want to kind of go over what that looks like, the before and the after, and what we do here at Southworth. So Ben, thanks. I appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely.
And so why don't you tell the audience and tell us a little bit about what it means on the front end, like what do we do on the front end to get the family and the client ready to go to treatment and get them there? What's that look like?
So kind of like you said, really our goal at Southworth is to fill those cracks where people slip through and don't get the services that they need. And so really my goal with anything we do is field that first call and help take a family out of crisis and uncertainty as to what to do with their loved one or how to intervene or get them to enter treatment. Intervention is a tool that we use. Obviously, it's a big piece of what we do. And so we would actually start educating the family, really try to neutralize that crisis and identify first that hope's possible. Because a lot of the families I deal with, I always say it's not an intervention until somebody tells me there's no way that they're going to go to treatment. And then I know I've got an intervention. And so that's what we do every day is we take those families who have no hope and their loved one is defiant, dug in, resistant, not open to the idea of treatment, and we help elicit change within that individual. And our interventions are over 95% successful. And so that's how we know this process works, right? And why I'm so passionate about it. And so, typically we'll come in, we'll educate the family about the disease of addiction, things they can do to better support their loved one in recovery once they enter the recovery process, how to participate in that recovery process once they enter treatment. And then we're actually going to give them options for treatment. We'll give them some choices as to different treatment options, try to help them go towards the best fits, and then do the intervention, get them into treatment. And then we also triage concerns of the family while they're in treatment. So example, if we have someone in treatment who is, the family is trying to control treatment, dictate treatment, a lot of times these families are in crisis, scared, and they'll start calling the treatment center and trying to dictate who the therapist is and all that kind of stuff. So we can really help mitigate some of that family interference that happens. It's so common to see a family member try to sabotage treatment by come home early, this isn't the right place. And so we really eliminate a lot of those factors. And then on the back end of treatment, we do compliance monitoring. And so, my predecessor, John Southworth, was actually the first guy to take that compliance monitoring that is done for physicians' health programs and take it and apply it exactly as it would work for professionals to the private sector. And so we take that compliance monitoring that we know demonstrates over 70% success rate with physicians and give everyday people coming out of treatment that same opportunity to have that type of success.
Right, because we do that as well. We do the physician's health program for the
Correct.
physicians and nurses, and we do that as well. So we have all that data. And
Yep.
I whenever I got to Southworth, it was one of the things that excited me about working here was that we have the data because we do that. And now to be able to bring that to the masses, to the people, like to everybody, to get the same level of care, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and compliance monitoring, it consists of forensic accountability through drug testing, PET testing, hair. We do all kinds of different testing to really randomize it. A, make sure, that nothing's slipping through the cracks. B, make sure the family's getting defensible evidence that their loved one is clean and sober. And the benefit I always tell, to the family, because I'll have participants ask me, hey, why should I do this monitoring, right? That's usually the first person to ask me. And I say, think about it this way. It wasn't until I had 5 years clean and sober that my family came and saw me get a cake at a meeting because they believed, okay, maybe really this time he's sober, right? You can speed that process up where you can go home with a stack of drug tests and say, look, I'm doing my part. I understand that you're hesitant to trust me right now. I've done damage. I get that. This is my way to put my best foot forward and demonstrate through actions instead of my words that I've really changed and I'm really working recovery. And that's an invaluable process. I mean, to have that kind of
Right.
trust, again, and it allows the parents to be the parents again and not be the police officers or probation officers or spouses. The other piece of this is our chain of custody will hold up in a court of law. So if somebody has a custody battle, a divorce, issues like that, where they need to be able to demonstrate their sobriety or recovery in court, we give them that concrete, sober portfolio to go into court and show that they're really doing what they're supposed to do. So we will also communicate with therapists, make sure they're attending therapy appointments, individual counseling appointments, family counseling. If there's any other ancillary providers, psychiatrists, we'll work with them. And we collect all this data to create that concrete picture of what this person's doing. We also track 12-step attendance. We don't interfere with sponsorship, but we do have a sponsor sign off on a card once a month showing that they're meeting with their sponsor and doing what they're supposed to do. So there's all kinds of different things we can add on to that as well. We also work with recovering sex addicts, individuals with mood disorders. So there's all kinds of different ways that we can monitor and support recovery.
Right. And also too, this is not just a benefit to the patient, it's also a benefit to the facility, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we can give them the same outcomes data, right? So they can use it for their tracking and also communicate with their alumni staff, their aftercare staff, right? And really be a bridge to let them know how their alumni are doing, right?
Yeah, and the key to the program, the benefits of the program are, we can help bolster their data, but also early intervention. So if, let's say, an individual does quit doing what they're supposed to do, hopefully we can catch that prior to a relapse, or the evidence of the relapse, like we call the actual use, and direct them back to treatment or get them re-engaged with that treatment, whether it's for alumni or further services or whatever that may be. So I really view it as the guardrails or the training wheels to keep this person on track through recovery. And then it titrates down. Eventually we remove the training wheels and watch them go a little further, and then, hopefully bridge that gap to where they're completely independent with 12-step based recovery.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for that. And that's a heck of a description in a nutshell of what we do before and after. We are the before and after treatment here at Southworth Associates. I do want to throw this thing out there and let you guys know that welcome to our virtual booth. If you guys are here at a virtual conference and seeing this, we also have a virtual events platform that we've created for our own events and others' events. And so if you have a need for a virtual event, whether it's a one-day event or even a luncheon or a big, massive conference, please give us a shout at Southworth Associates. We'd love to talk to you about that as well. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave the audience with today?
Also, our ITCC conference, we miss seeing everybody, and we're looking forward to getting back and doing that in person again. So that'll be coming up. We're hoping to have an event in Florida in spring. We'll see, to be determined. So keep an eye out for that. All our usual attendees, we're excited to see you guys.
Absolutely. We hope to see you guys soon. And definitely reach out to us. The email or the website is right about there. The phone number is down there. Please reach out, give us a shout. We do interventions, monitoring, consulting, virtual events, and education. We'd love to talk to you guys about that. Thank y'all so much. And you guys have a good afternoon.
Take care.